I think what we learned today is that even though Anderson Silva hasn't exactly done his best work in the octagon lately, his boxing has always been one of his better attributes. It really has been. Like, if we go back and we check out his past fights, even in the UFC, you realize that the man has always known how to box. His footwork, the way he moves his head, his feints, he has always had good hands. I mean, and if what he did to Chavez Jr. before this last one is an indication of how good his boxing is, it's very possible that it's actually a lot better now than it always has been, even though Anderson Silva is older and no longer in his prime. And so when they put Anderson Silva in there against Tito Ortiz, a man who has never really been known for having the best striking in the world. He's a good martial artist for sure. Really good wrestling, good submissions, good ground and pound, especially from the guard. There are a lot of things that Tito did very well. Very strong guy as well. But when it comes to striking, to boxing, we've seen him fall time and time and time again. I mean, what Chuck Liddell did to him when they were both in their prime, I mean, how could you forget that? And so to put him in there against Anderson Silva just seemed like it was like an eyebrow-raising situation. Like, really? Tito Ortiz versus Anderson Silva in a boxing match? Like, does anyone really think that one's going to end any differently? Now, I'll tell you this, though. This fight did not end like I thought it was going to end. By the way, if you've not watched the fight yet, just click off the video right now, because this is going to be full of spoilers. Do not watch, because I am going to describe exactly how the fight ended. So go watch it and then come watch the video, or just click off right away. But yeah, I definitely thought that Anderson was going to outbox him for sure. I didn't think he was going to knock him out as early as he did. Precisely because I did not expect Tito Ortiz to fight as recklessly as he did. Like, I knew he was going to try to come out and pressure and use his size and his strength and figure out a way to implement that in a boxing scenario. But I did not expect him to corner Anderson Silva. You corner Anderson Silva, and Silva is against the cage, rope-a-doping. This is what we've seen him do so many times. You know he's very comfortable there. We've seen him stop guys from while doing that. And right there, you choose to swing wild hooks. I mean, Tito even got to a point where he was swinging the same exact hook over and over again. Left hook, left hook, left hook. And Anderson Silva was just ducking under it, ducking under it. And then on the last one, he comes up and just plants a very short, really technical, really smooth right hook right on the chin of Tito Ortiz. And not like completely shuts his lights out. It wasn't one of those shots that sends you flying or crumbles you right away. No, I mean, this one literally, it seemed like it sent an electric bolt through Tito's spine, because he immediately got frozen in place. And then it's one of those knockouts where you're, boom, your lights get shut out. You're frozen in space. You're frozen you're frozen in place. And then you slowly fall back like a statue. I mean, I guess I should not be laughing about it. Like, it shouldn't be funny, but I mean, I would be pretending. I'd be pretending if I didn't say that knockout was a little bit funny, because just, I don't know, man. And then right after that, the most absurd one, like, the whole entire thing just seems like a big fat joke. Like, what are we doing? You put Evander Holyfield in there. Evander Holyfield is a man who's almost 60 years old. He's 58 years old, and you put him in there against Vitor Belfort. A Vitor Belfort that, simply by looking at him, you can clearly tell that he's back on that juicy TRT. He's definitely back on it. Vitor is a powerful guy. He's a very aggressive guy, especially in the first round. I mean, we all know the legendary first round Vitor. Very aggressive, very, very fast, very dangerous, a lot of power, a southpaw. And you put him in there against Evander Holyfield, a man who's a legend in boxing, but, I mean, a man who's old, especially for the sport of boxing. This is also a man who's taken quite a lot of damage in his time as a boxer, and you put him in there against Vitor, what do you expect to happen? Like, did anybody expect anything different from what happened? Like, I definitely didn't. I mean, I didn't want to, like, I didn't want to just come out and say it like this is going to end awful. I was just, like, kind of poking fun at it. Like, really? You guys are going to let this happen? You've not changed your mind? You're really going to allow Vitor Belfort to legally punch Evander Holyfield? Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? Like, I mean, look, Holyfield is a grown-ass man. He can make his own decisions, but still, man, it's like, it makes you just question things. Like, why are we doing this? You know? It's not like Mike Tyson where you see Tyson move on the pads and you see him move around and you can tell, oh my God, that dude is still dangerous. Like, yeah, he's definitely old and he's definitely no longer in his prime. But Tyson, I mean, shit. I mean, the speed is still there. The power is there. The agility is there. The athleticism is there. He's moving really well. But, I mean, you watch Holyfield on the pads and it's like, yikes. Yikes. It really looks like his freaking hips don't work anymore. His hands are stiff. His shoulders are all stiff. The man is just old. All right, he's just older. Like, that's just what happens when people get older. You know, things don't really work like they're supposed to. So, for them to put him in there against Vitor it was crazy. And, of course, exactly what we thought would happen happened. Vitor dropped him. I believe dropped him twice in the first round. Entered one of his Vitor blitz where he has you in front of him and he's just boom, ringing left uppercuts. He does that all the time. He used to do that in MMA. It was a very similar shot that he used to set down Dan Henderson. You guys remember when he fought Dan Henderson and Hendo was trying to like wade in with that overhand and Vitor just slipped back and just boom, hit him with an uppercut. That Vitor left uppercut has always been absolutely nasty, and he just blasted Holyfield with those uppercuts. And the ref was giving him a chance to see if he's going to fight back, but I mean, he was just turtling. I mean, the ref was like, dude, I've seen enough. I have seen enough. I do not want you to get hurt. And he stopped the fight, and I'll tell you guys what, man, I am absolutely glad that he stopped the fight when he did, because it just, I mean, personally, I do not want to see Holyfield get knocked out. Like, if anybody was like, early stoppage, it would have been nice if we would have seen him get put out. Like, not me, man, not me. I'm very glad that one did not end with him completely KO'd. Glad it ended the way it ended. And just the whole entire night was just bizarre, just really bizarre. And now there's talk, there's chatter in the air that it's very possible that we might see Anderson Silva versus Mike Tyson. I'm going to leave you guys with that one. What do you guys think about that one? Anderson Silva versus Mike Tyson. How do you think that one goes? Let me know in the comment section. Have a good night, folks.